There was once a child who looked up at the stars and wondered, what if? And in that moment, something remarkable happened. Because the question itself, that simple curiosity, it unlocked something vast and limitless within. And maybe, just maybe, you've felt that before too. That flicker of knowing deep down that more is possible. More than you've been told. More than you've dared to believe before now. And the funny thing about possibility is, they exist whether you see them or not. Like doors in a long hallway. Some open, some waiting. Some you don't even know are there. But the moment you realise the doors are real, something shifts. And I don't know if you'll notice that shift now or later, but that's the beauty of it. Because as soon as you begin to notice, you already know. Some people, they once thought flight was impossible, until it wasn't. Others believed the world was flat, that nothing beyond the horizon could be real, until someone sailed beyond it. And you right now, listening, feeling, experiencing, you're already expanding past the edges of what once seemed fixed. That's right, because possibility, it isn't just something outside of you, it's inside you. And as you listen to these words, as your mind plays with these ideas, as the unconscious mind takes in exactly what it needs, a funny thing happens when you start to believe in possibility. You begin to see it everywhere, in places you never thought to look, in moments between moments, in the spaces between one thought and the next. And just like that, something clicks, like remembering something you've always known. And when you begin to believe that more is possible, isn't it interesting how much more becomes possible? And I don't know if you've had that feeling before, that deep knowing, that realization, there's something bigger is at play here. But I do know this, your mind is already making connections, isn't it? Already seeing new paths, already knowing the limits that you thought were real. They were never real at all, because if even one new possibility exists, then more must exist. And if more exists, then what else is waiting to be discovered? And you can feel it now, can't you? That shift, that expansion, that awareness. Like the first time you realise the ocean doesn't stop at the horizon. And the more you think about that, the more you realise you've only just begun. And as these words settle in, as these thoughts integrate in just the right way, you may begin to notice how naturally these beliefs grow, how easily they take root, how quickly you begin to see things differently. And I wonder, what new possibilities are already beginning to take shape for you now? Because now you know. And once you know, you can't not know. And that changes everything, doesn't it? Because it's fascinating how just a single thought, a single shift in perception, it can change everything. Like turning a key in a lock, like opening a door you didn't even realise was there. And the more you think about that now, the more you begin to notice something's happening right now. Because what if the only thing standing between you and infinite possibility was just an old idea, a thought, a belief, a pattern, one that served a purpose once, but now you're waking up to something bigger, something vast, something boundless. And isn't it interesting how the mind, it already knows this, how your unconscious, it's always known, like a river that's always been flowing towards something greater, even when you weren't aware of it. And now you are. Because the truth is, you've already been doing it, expanding, seeing, becoming. That moment when a bird first realizes it can fly, it isn't learning, it's remembering. And maybe that's exactly what's happening now. And the more you allow that knowing to grow, the more you realize it. It's everywhere. In every conversation, in every moment, in the way you breathe, in the way your mind shifts effortlessly into new ways of seeing, new ways of being. Because isn't it true that the moment you decide something is possible, reality bends to meet that decision. Some people, they wait for permission to believe in more. Others simply decide. And when you decide, when you choose fully, deeply, without hesitation, reality has no choice but to follow. Because here's the thing. Possibility. It isn't something you find. It's something that you generate. Something you become. And as you're sitting here now, feeling these words settle deep inside, I wonder if you already noticed that shift. Or if it'll only become clear later, in the way your thoughts naturally open up, in the way you suddenly start to see paths that weren't even there before. Because the mind is funny like that. The moment you realise you can see differently, you do. The moment you believe in possibility, it multiplies. And I don't know if you'll notice that in the way your confidence grows, in the way your actions shift, in the way the world itself begins to reflect this truth back to you. But you will. Because here's what's happening now. A transformation, a rewriting, a remembering, a knowing deep in your bones, in your cells, in the spaces between thoughts. That the limits, they were never real. That the only boundaries were the ones waiting to be crossed. That you, right now, you're stepping into something extraordinary. And the more you listen, the more it happens. The more you believe, the more it expands. And even now, even as you feel this truth taking hold, in ways you can't quite explain, something deep within you already knows. You were made for this, and nothing will ever be the same again.